So now the match, you would say, effectively over, although never say never.
No, you always have the golden break.
Yeah, I think
and the golden duck options that can come into play, but I certainly don't think you're going to be seeing Mick hitting the break with any rockets when he comes to the table now. He'd be happy for the balls to go scrappy and just waste the shot clock down, but play a few safety shots. And if Jordan's going to win a frame, it won't be in quick fire time.
Yeah, too right. We've only seen 3 golden breaks so far this week, all 3 of them from Scott Gillespie. 2 in the match that he ultimately lost to Jack Whelan yesterday. I think he enjoyed the moments, but unfortunately it wasn't quite enough to get over the line.
Yeah, and that's a good shot, because he's left the angle to knock his bad red out. He's got a 3-ball plant. Red onto yellow onto red. And he's now got red off yellow into the same middle.
It's been an entertaining finish if he makes it. And this time, straightforward in the sense he's not having to play a plant, but not the most straightforward 8-ball. No mistake though. It's almost like he's better when he's playing quicker like this and under a bit more pressure.
Yeah, and I think what happens when you play like this is it's almost back against the wall type pool, and when you're not thinking about it so much and you just get on with it. The old saying, play like it means nothing at all when it means everything. Easier said than done, of course, to just go out there and play like you're playing in practice or play like you haven't got a care in the world, but I think the players that are more successful do that better than others.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You've talked a few times in some of the studio segments about that transition when you can be practicing well and it's just hard to translate it to the match arena sometimes.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of players over the years that have been like that, been great players in practice, and you think, oh, how has he not won this? How has he not done that? But mainly it's because they don't take what they do on the practice table into the match, and I think that's the same for a lot of sports.
Yeah, it really is. Meanwhile though, Mick hasn't really done what you suggested. He's, unfortunately for him, broken very well and gone in off, so he's handed the table over with a beautiful open position.
Yeah, and again, it's just that balance of playing quick and getting the finish, and the balance of rushing and being careless. And again, he was a bit careless there, but again, he's played another good cannon, and that is 2 very quick fire frames. And I did think that he was out of this match, but he's definitely now back in it.
Yeah, 5 minutes 30 on the clock is more than enough to win 2 frames. If he could get a clearance off his own break here, suddenly the pressure's all back on Mick as he next comes to the table. So quite a lot riding on this break.
Yeah, and isn't it amazing when you see it happen so many times when the players, I wouldn't say give up is the right word, but he's almost just back against the wall, said, well, the probability of me winning from here is very, very slim, so I'm just going to almost throw my arm at it, and the next minute he's back in it and he's made another ball and he's got another very good split. The only thing I can see is he'd like to go reds, and he has to pot one down this cushion first. If he pots this, I think he wins the frame.
Red ball's in play.
Whoa.
He's now going to play a cannon, another one, to just bump his bad ball out, and that's worked out perfectly.
What a grandstand finish this could be if he does win this frame. A few minutes ago it looked like the whole match was over. And this is always what Jordan's capable of, these quick fire frame wins.
It is, but what happens with this now is the pressure now reverts back to Jordan because he's been free-flowing with the mentality, as we've mentioned, of I've probably lost. His mentality now changes of I have a chance of winning again. Be interesting to see if he gets a chance in this next frame first, if he plays so quick, because I don't think he will. I think he'll go back to almost the playing pool properly mode.
Yeah, now not much Mick can really do. There's no point going for a cautious break this time round. He's really got to just, again, play to win. Plenty of time on the clock, so it's not like he can afford to slow down at this point.
No, and the shot clock doesn't allow you to slow down. I mean, 15 seconds when you're out there under pressure, I can tell you, is brutally quick.
Mick to break, leading 5 frames to 4.
Oh, that's a better break.
Well, that's a fantastic break, but first glance, the reds look good, but if he's dead straight on this red across the back cushion, it isn't easy. But he just had a bit of angle. Look, he played a good shot there. He manufactured a little bit of angle.
Yeah, he struck that really well. I mean, this table's great like that. It's got this super fine cloth. You can manufacture an angle, but you've still got to cue it really sweet to do that.
So he's just had a look up to the sky there because he wanted to take this red that he's on now. Then he wanted to come all the way down the table to take the red out of the bottom end, to leave the red up the end of the table for the 8 ball down the cushion. And the reason he wanted to do that is because position from the 8 ball, from this bottom red, is not easy. And that's why he's gone down for it now.
Yeah, a lot of people will be looking at that thinking, what on earth is he doing, playing such a difficult positional shot when he's right by the ball? But as you rightly say, it'd be very hard to get position if you'd gone about it the other way. You can see he's really feeling it. I mean,
yeah,
as
the
is
match
everyone.
clock's really catching, the shot clock, sorry, is really catching him out, isn't it? I think he's sort of half forgetting about it, and then by the time he realises, it's bleeping and it's all a bit of a rush.
Yeah, he just has that kind of startled look every time the 5-second warning comes up.
Oh, I think he forgot to play with a bit of right-hand side here, because I expected him to play with a bit of right-hand side and take the cue ball towards the middle pocket, and he just potted it playing ball.
Important pot, this.
Yeah, and because he didn't play it with right-hand side, he's missed it.
So, 2 minutes 23 on the match clock. Jordan Shepherd.
Oh, and this might be doubly bad news because this yellow may pass the 8 ball across the back cushion. Or does it?
Looks tight, doesn't it? I don't think that's good enough.
It's not, because Mick can now play the skill shot. Red, 8 ball onto the yellow, follow it in, and that's the match.
Frame.
Wow, there was a lot riding on that frame. If Jordan had managed to clear up there and get it to 5 apiece, Mick would have been really feeling it. It's not necessarily over. There's still 2 minutes on the clock, but it's going to need something, probably a golden break, unless he can pull off your magic from the other day of the 28-second clearance.
I did say, would Jordan slow down a little bit if he got a chance in that frame, and he did a little bit, even though it was only one shot. He used his extension. He had a look at it 3 or 4 times. That's the first time he's looked at a ball 3 or 4 times, probably since the first frame. I can tell you one thing, if that was 5-1 down, he wouldn't have been having a look at that yellow. I think he'd have just played it.
Frame 11. Jordan Shepherd
Like
to
I
break,
said, when you
playing
feel like
6
you're
frames
back in the
4.
match and you now have a chance of winning, he went back into the almost caring mode again. But this isn't over yet, folks, because
Red balls in play.
he has a chance of clearing these reds and leaving a minute on the clock.
Well, that's the grandstand finish the viewers are looking for. It's not the grandstand finish Mick's looking for, though.
Well, that's just stopped him in his tracks because he's a little bit short. and he couldn't have had a better nudge. That is perfect.
Well, he's going to leave, as you say, just over a minute, I think, on the clock.
Oh,
So,
he is going to leave exactly a minute. 59 seconds, is it? 58?
Well, the good thing from
what
Mick's
an
point of
incredible
view.
match.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? When it was 5-2, we were kind of saying it was all over, and it hadn't been that exciting in some of the early going, but it's really up the ante towards the end. And this is exactly what we were expecting with these two, this kind of quick-fire stuff.
This was the shot.
Yeah, I mean, that was a lovely touch, wasn't it? That could have gone terribly wrong.
Yeah, very, very good shot. That was a great touch with a lot of left-hand side and backspin to just kill the cue ball. And so Mick Hill to break, and he needs to make a ball.
Yeah, it's all about making a ball, because if he doesn't need to clear up, he just needs to stay at the table. That's the priority.
If he makes a ball off the break, he's won. Has he made a ball?
Oh, no way.
No, he hasn't. And you heard Mick shout, "Don't you dare." And look at these reds. Look at these reds.
That's amazing. There are balls flying everywhere, and he's come dry.
He doesn't need to rush like this. He has plenty of time. Plenty of time. And because he's rushing, he's run out of position. Wow. He doesn't need to rush like this. He's got time.
So one good shot on this red down the right-hand rail.
He doesn't want to be bridging over that yellow, and he isn't. It's just popped out. He can just cue down the side. Oh, wow. Wow, what a finish. Incredible.
What a finish. 2 seconds now as the match clock pauses. Match tied at 6 apiece.
What a match.
There were no signs. Well, we had that rack. They played for 12 minutes for a re-rack. We never thought they'd be through 12 frames by now. What an incredible game.
Oh, I'm speechless. So, 4-1, Jordan starts running around the table like he's playing a 6-red shootout pace. And then the last 2 frames from 6-4, he does exactly the same and clears within the space of a couple of minutes. It's incredible.
So, one free hit effectively for Jordan. Could be a golden break, could be a golden duck. If not, it goes to a 6-red shootout.
So, golden break wins it, golden duck loses it. Wow. He got half of a golden duck. So, we have a 6-red shootout.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, the match has had absolutely everything. It's had the longest, most tactical frame, and then it's had probably 4 of the quickest
Well,
frames.
this has been by far the most entertaining match that I think I've commentated on. I don't think I've seen a match where I've watched and thought, yes, it's over. No, it isn't. The other player's back in. Now it's over at 6-4. And incredibly, we're now at a shootout. And one thing I will say in this shootout is your mentality going into it is very different. And what I mean by that is Mick Hill is now standing there thinking, how the hell am I playing a shootout here? And Jordan Shepherd is thinking, well, I'm over the moon, obviously, to be playing this shootout. So 2 very different approaches and mentality into this shootout, which could potentially be the factor. Mick sitting there thinking, well, I should already be doing my pre-match interview now.
Yeah, like Mick, you can just see etched on his face how annoyed he is to be in this position. He's got to put that out of his mind. It's him up first. I mean, what a story it's going to be for whichever of these players comes through. We thought the first group match was close when Chris Melling won 6-5 against Dave McNamara, but this has had everything.
And because of styles, you have to put Jordan favourite here for this, but of course it is all on the break.
Yeah. Ready to go.
So the rules are, you break, and you have to pot the balls as fast as you possibly can. As long as the object ball that you're playing is stationary,
You know the rules.
you're allowed to play it.
Yeah.
Scott said to Mick, do you know the rules? And he said, yeah, just pot as many balls as you can. Well, you need to pot as many as you can, but you need to pot them as fast as you can.
Yeah, and the key thing is not to miss.
Oh, and it's the perfect break. This is going to be quick. This is going to be quick. Oh, it's going to be quick if you don't miss one.
Oh, Mick's feeling the pressure. Could still be a decent time, though. One good positional shot. Use the cue ball to stop moving.
Oh.
Slow down.
Oh, it's
to
going
set it
to be a 28. Mid-28s is middle of the road, I would say.
All good. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a moment that looked good if he hadn't have missed that ball to the top right-hand corner.
Yeah, mid-28s is, I would say, average. I think it's probably going to get beat if I had to have a bet on it. I would say that Mick's, as you can see there, pulled his face as if to say, I'm not sure that's enough, and I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, especially when you set that time first, because Jordan knows that he doesn't have to race around. He can be somewhat measured.
Yeah, and that is the big advantage of winning the lag. You put your opponent in, you let them set the time, and if they don't set a particularly good time, then you have the luxury of not taking your time, but you can just make sure. Of course, it's still on the break. It's important here that Scott, our referee, gets all of these balls touching. Of course, there's not 15 to get touching, there's only 6 of them, so it is important that he gets them all touching, because if they don't break, that is the difference between winning and losing.
Oh, that's not the best break.
And they haven't really broke.
Oh, the cue ball's still moving. So, got a bit of travelling to do. Ideally, you want the balls clustered at the bottom of the table. He's going to have to come up to the one on the break line.
This is going to be quick. This is going to be good, and this is going to be quick, because the cue ball isn't travelling. When the cue ball's not travelling, you're wasting no seconds.
This ball for the match, and it's there. What a performance from Jordan Shepherd to get himself back into that match.
Wow, what a fantastic performance, and wow, have you ever seen a match swing around like that? And I think, as you can see there, he's pretty happy with that win.
That's just incredible. There was a moment it looked like he wasn't going to play any meaningful part in the match. Mick looked to be well over the line. Brilliant performance from Jordan Shepherd. Mick will be devastated.